Hello, hello, hello. I hope no one else is live. I didn't even check. I actually did not check. Let me try and check from my phone because I actually didn't check. How do I check now? Because it's not logged into this phone. But let's see. Let's see if people join. Then we will know. But I didn't see any notification. Da, 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 da. Good morning, good people. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm literally the only one in the live. So, oh, hi, Alice. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I was asking myself, is anyone else on live? Because I didn't check before I went live. So I was thinking, is there a clash of lives? But I'm okay, Alice. I'm fine. It's hot as usual here, so I think after this live, I'm going to lie down and take a young nap before I start work. I'm starting work a little bit later today because it's Friday. So I decided to start my live late as well. Good morning, Dr. Amy. How are you? How are you this beautiful morning? Okay, I think I can start the topic because I am trying to have shorter lives. Just a little bit of feedback. Yesterday, I did a live of 45 minutes or 46 minutes, and I got 6 hours from it. And the previous week, I had done a live of 1 hour and I got 3 hours from it. So I think the shorter lives for now will work. I'll check again today and see how many hours I get from this one. So we shall see, but I'll just be giving you guys feedback, however, which way it goes. So I wanted to talk about some of the financial lessons that I learned from the books that I have read. Okay, so I'm going to create a poll, but I don't know what the question is going to be. Okay, let me say, do you follow anyone for financial advice? Okay, I'll start it like that because apparently when you do a poll, you get more people to come to your channel. So I'm also testing that out. I will be your guinea pig, guys. Yeah, I think Dr. Amy, especially because of the time I go live, I don't get a lot of people from outside of our time zone. So, for example, it's 11 here. It's I think it's 11 way in the Netherlands as well, and in South Africa it's 10. So it's early morning for a lot of people. People are working, and also the people who are usually online for lives, which are like in the United States, for example, they only come online, I think, after 4 o'clock my time. So, yeah, but I will try. Oh, okay. So, Dr. Amy and Alice, you have the same time. Yes, so I'm an hour ahead. I think maybe if I was going live later on in the day, I could meet a lot of, those people like Qatar Airways. Meta AI, those kind of people. So I might get even more hours. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and make this particular live short and see how many hours I get from it. Then I'll know. So my first point. So I just, from yesterday's discussion, I just thought that, yes, I'm trying to catch Meta AI or, British Airways. Maybe I can get some free trips, free trips back home. So, from the discussion we were having yesterday, what are we trying to prove and who are we trying to prove to? I just pointed out that there's a financial aspect to that I would love to speak about because of there was a period in my time that yes, brand ambassador for Qatar. I would love to be a brand ambassador for Qatar Airways, for real, because I've heard nice things. So yes, there was a period in my time that I was reading a lot of financial books, and I was applying some of the principles to my life. But I think I fell off. When you're excited about something when you first learn about it, and then sometimes you fall off. So, from what we were speaking about yesterday, there's a point that I will start with from one of my favorite books, which is called The Richest Man in Babylon. And that point was living below your means. And I don't know what the situation is in Ghana, Dr. Amy. And Alice, I know what the situation is in South Africa because it's similar to the one in Zimbabwe, especially for those ages between maybe 21 to 30. People are usually living above their means in order to present themselves as more wealthy than they are. And when they do this, they're working from salary to salary, not because they have a lot of responsibilities, but because they're just trying to prove something to everyone. So that's the period where a lot of people buy the designer clothes. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with designer clothes and designer bags if you have the means to buy it. But I read a quote that said, if you can't buy it twice, then you can't afford it. Good morning, Mushle. How are you? How are you this morning? Thank you so much for joining the live. So, good morning, Danilo. Good morning. Thank you for joining. How are you guys doing? So, yes, in Zimbabwe, this is usually the period where people are buying a lot of designer. They are buying the luxury cars, not because they can afford them, but because maybe they save like two salaries, three salaries, sometimes four salaries, and they don't have any other assets except for these designer clothing or designer bags. In Zimbabwe, you can't buy things on lay-by anymore. Let me start with that, right? So in Zimbabwe, we can't buy things on lay-by anymore. We can't buy things on credit. So if you see someone in Zimbabwe who owns something, they've paid for it cash because our economy fluctuates. So business owners don't trust this system of credit and lay-by anymore. It used to be there, but it's not there anymore. So people would sacrifice 100% of their salary just to look like they have money. And then when they open the bag or when they drive the car doesn't have fuel. And when they open the bag, the bag doesn't have money. So that's one of the points from The Richest Man in Babylon, that you should live below your means. So if your salary is 100%, you should live with 80% of your salary in order to yes, to have a sustainable life and have a good financial relationship and a good relationship with your money. Good morning, Joanna. How are you this morning? Thank you so much for joining the live. Okay, so before I move on to my next point, we have 7 people currently in the live, but we only have 2 likes. I know you forgot, guys, but please like the live. So the second point from The Richest Man in Babylon was something that I was applying for. Thank you, Dineo. Thank you so much. Joanna says, a very interesting topic. I don't have data for Live Mama. We'll definitely catch up on it later. I liked it already. Thank you, Joanna. Mutle says, wow, that's wild. I can't imagine SA at a point where everything is sold cash because people are so credit driven. Morning, Joanna. Mutle, I think that in Zimbabwe we had the same mentality until thank you, Mutle. I know people forget. I forget as well. So we had the same mentality until our economy changed. So in Zimbabwe, everything, you could get everything on credit. Clothes, at Edgar's, we would get on credit, fragrances as well from Edgar's, school uniforms, you can get it on credit. Then furniture in the house, we had a furniture house, a nationwide furniture house that we could buy furniture on credit. Of course, let me just get the book for you. Okay. So we could get furniture on credit, phones as well. We could get on credit. What else? What else? Goods in your house, like white goods, stove, laundry machine, almost everything we could get on credit. So, and if you couldn't get on credit, you could also do lay-bys, especially with clothes and all of that. So once the situation changed, it changed. We couldn't do anything about it. So Dineo, this is the book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. You can take a screenshot. Also, I have a book review of this on my channel. If you go to my playlist, the book club, you'll see my review of it. This one. So, you're welcome to know. So, yes, Mutle, once the situation changed, some people had to downgrade, some people had to downsize, but anything, you adjust. That's the thing with human beings. You adjust to whatever situation is there at the current moment. So moving on to the next point, this is about living on 90% of your salary. And this is something that I implemented months after I read this book. And then life happened, and now I need to start again. I'm going to start again from this month. But yes, so it says budget your expenses for necessities, enjoyments, and to gratify your worthwhile desires without spending more than 9/10 of your earnings. So it is saying that you should actually enjoy your life, and you should gratify your desires. So if your desires are to shop, if your desires are to look good, if your desires are to save for your house or your car, whatever it is, you have to budget it so everything goes into 90% of the salary. Good morning, Lungi. Thank you so much. Good morning. So Muhle said, sorry to be off topic. As someone who is trying to get back into reading, which book would you recommend a person who wants to get into reading to buy? Okay, I'll ask you a question. What type of books do you like to read? Do you like to read fiction? If so, what type of fiction? Is it crime? Because I have a recommendation for that. If it's fiction, just cultural and societal things, I also have a recommendation for that. If you are trying to read autobiographies, I don't read a lot of autobiographies, but I read a lot of self-help books. So, which one would you want to try first? And if you say very late, Dr. Amy. So I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it okay? I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's IISE or ILSE. Ilese? Okay, maybe Ilese. My name is Audrey. Ilese, thank you so much for joining the live. Please don't forget to like the live. Yes, maybe Ilese. I hope pronouncing that well. If I'm not, please don't take offense. So yes, so the book is saying that in order for you to feel fulfilled, you have to live a full life. So even if you are trying to start your she said, can we start from the beginning? Okay, I'll give you a recap, Lugi. Let me just finish this point. And with this is just the second point, so you haven't missed out a lot. Dre didn't indicate she will be live. I did. Maybe the notification didn't come out, but I did indicate late. I think 25 minutes before. Yes, before. So I'm sorry, I don't know what YouTube did. But good morning, Poloko. I just finished your vlog not too long ago. And happy birthday to my sweet, sweet, sweet boy. Happy birthday to him. Yes. So for you to feel fulfilled and for you to feel like you're working towards something, you have to actually enjoy your money. But all you have to do is to make sure that you're budgeting 90% of your earnings to all the enjoyments and all your necessities in life. Okay. So, Mushle, you said that as a reader, I like fiction romance, but I also like books like Things Fall Apart. Okay, let me give you a plug of a book that I'm rereading, something that I read before. And T actually reminded me of that book because I studied it in high school, literature. And it's called Nervous Conditions, and it's by Tsitsi Dangarembwa. And I will, can I comment on my own live? I don't think so. Maybe I can comment with my other account. I can't because it doesn't have a channel. But I will write it for you on Instagram, Mushle, after the live. It's a beautiful book about the the different struggles that women go through, and it also shows how they get out of those struggles. So I think you'll really enjoy that book. It's called Nervous Conditions. Alice didn't want to go live for me. What time? What time did you want Alice to go live? I don't know what category books like those ones Gabrielle Union has, but I like those as well. I think hers is an autobiography, sort of. Okay, so you can start with nervous conditions, and then when you're done with that, if you like that kind of book, then I will recommend some other ones for you. Poloko said, "Thank you so much, Dre. He's crying so much today. Oh, why? Does being one hurt?" I hope he's doing well, Poloko. I hope he's just crying out of excitement. Um, okay, happy birthday from Lungi. I can comment. Okay, let me check. You see, Dr. Amy, I am afraid to do those kind of things because what if I then log out of the live? Yeah, so I'm not going to comment for now, but I will either put it as a post because I will definitely do a book review on it soon. So I'll put it as a post as well. Dre, you're speaking about financial wisdom, and I'm receiving a call from Old Mutual. They're offering me a loan. You can comment on your own live, but once you have saved it. Oh, okay, okay. So I'll comment after. I'll definitely do that. Guys, please excuse me 1 second. I will be back in a second. How do I mute this? Okay, I'm back. So, good morning, Annie. Thank you so much for joining the live. Lungi said you can comment if you're using desktop, but if it's okay, you can DM. Oh, okay. I'm using my phone, so I won't be able to. Please recap on what I missed. So, Lungi, I was just saying, because of the topic we were speaking about yesterday, I wanted to speak about the financial ideas I learned from some of the books I read. And the first point that I brought about was living below your means. So these books recommend that you live exactly like that, below your means. And point one and point two go together because point two speaks about budgeting your earnings so that you use only 90% of what you earn. But it also tells you to budget everything in this 90%. So your necessities, your enjoyment, and gratifying your desires so that you feel like you're actually working towards something, and saving that 10% is not going to feel very hard on you. So, yes, this is what we were talking about. And I was saying that in Zimbabwe, most people, especially between the ages of 20 to 30, once they start working, they purchase things to show that they have money, but they spend all of their salary to do so. So if they buy a designer handbag, for example, they are only going to have enough money to buy the bag, but they won't have money in the bag. If they purchase a car, they're going to have the car, but not fuel. And all of this is to show that they have money when they actually are spending their whole salary to show off, basically. So that tied into the next point, which was only spending and budgeting your salary to only use 90% of it. Okay, and Dineo was saying that she was getting a call from Old Mutual for a loan. And this is interesting because back when the economy in Zimbabwe was great, we had stock in Old Mutual that you could buy. And this was a very good investment plan for a lot of people, including my grandmother. And by the time my mom went into it, the economy was changing so that, well, it wasn't wise to invest in it at that particular time. But when my grandmother invested in Old Mutual, and when she sold the stock, she was able to buy a house. So Old Mutual, if it's still quite functional in South Africa the way it was in Zimbabwe back then, I think it is a good investment. However, I don't know about loans, and I am not apt on that kind of financial advice. So I don't know what to say about the loans per se. Maybe no, I don't want to speak about it because I don't know much about that. So I don't know. I don't know. Where are we? Dr. Amy. I'm sorry, I was only gone for a minute. I'm sorry. Mushle says, imagine my network acted up before I could get your responses. Oh, Mushle, no, no problem. I'm going to DM you the books. Oh, the book that I recommend you read, because it's such a good read. I'm actually going to do a book review about it at the end of the month, I hope, if I finish reading it, but it's a perfect read. Yes, Lungi, they need Dr. Amy, Lungi, bring voice note. Yes, they need to bring voice notes to YouTube. Okay. Yes, Dr. Amy, true. We are advised to live below our means, but we want to live beyond our means. Good morning, Mikado. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So, Dr. Amy, let me give you an example. I will give the situation in Zimbabwe as an example as well. So when I went to primary school, we have neighborhood primary schools, and we have such a mixed culture, mixed race, mixed nationalities in Zimbabwe, because it's a melting pot, right? And either you walk to school or you're dropped off, right? And at that particular time, my dad was driving a box Benz, you know, the box ones. Yes. And one of my classmates, her dad was driving a Mazda 323. My classmate was white. So her dad was driving a 323. And looking at what my father was driving and what my classmate's father was driving, you would think that we were more affluent, right? Then we got invited to her birthday party. That was the first experience of wealth in my life, because they had their house, they had acres of land, they had a mansion, they had horses. This is in the suburbs, but they had horses. They had a huge pool. They had a jungle gym. Anything you could ever ask for or think, okay, this is what rich people have. That's what they had. But when her father would drop her off, she would drop her off in a Mazda 323. He would be wearing a plain t-shirt, some shorts, and maybe slops. That's it. So the wealthy people, I think, have understood this principle of living below their means and actually investing in assets, which is one of the points that it will be the last point that I speak about. But yes, Dr. Amy, unfortunately, we live in a society where we want to live beyond our means. Dr. Amy said we are cutting the cord according to our style, wishes, and dreams. Exactly, exactly. Swallow. No. It was my birthday today. It would mean the world to me if you say my name. I will not. I will definitely not be doing that. Lungisile. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Dre, for the recap. We need financial freedom. Yes. And that point is coming, Lungi, so stay tuned. Thank you, Dr. Amy. Yes, guys, please like the live. That's me, Mos, buying a bag but not having money to put in the bag. Lungi, we are all learning. We've all gone through that period of time. I remember in my first job, that is when I bought my first iPhone, and I couldn't even afford data for the iPhone because, with iPhone, everything is always updating at the same time, and in Zimbabwe data finishes like this. So I had to now ask my boss for the Wi-Fi password at work, and it was okay because at that time I had gotten a promotion, but I couldn't afford the iPhone, and even when I had the iPhone I couldn't even afford the data. So we're learning. It's all a learning game. uh Empty expensive bag. Yes, we've all been there. Danielle said no, no, no loans. Okay, great. Okay. I didn't know what to say because I didn't have any any knowledge of that. Yes, Lungi is very, very funny. Good morning, Linda. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining the live. Yes, Kado, Annie. Hi, Annie. So greetings to everyone. Wealthy people don't show off, but us peasants are, Lungi, that's the thing. They understand these principles a lot more than we do, and they invest in assets, whereas we invest in liabilities to show that we are wealthy. So they know this, they have learned this, and this goes back to the discussion we had the other time, Lungi. They learned this from their parents, who learned that from their parents, because this knowledge is recycled within the 1%. And then for us, we continue to be in this rat race of living from paycheck to paycheck because we don't have this financial knowledge. So hopefully I can share a little bit, and we can apply it, including me, because I was applying some of it and then I fell off. So this is also a refresher for me. Dr. Amy said, I recently met a 16-year-old girl working at a supermarket who shared a surprising story about her spending habits. This encounter got me thinking about financial freedom and the importance of understanding and managing credit responsibly, especially at a young age. Yes, exactly, Dr. Amy. After complimenting her stylish outfit, she revealed that she buys her clothes on credit using Klarna. And the amount she mentioned she spends on clothes left me shocked and surprised. You see why I don't want to type. My stories are unending. Dr. Amy, I think that the businesses and the societies make it so easy for us to live beyond our means, because as you're mentioning Klarna now, I think you can pay for something in installments of 4. And as Mushle was saying, in South Africa there's that credit system. In Zimbabwe, when we had the credit system, you would buy fragrances for 100 and maybe $15, whilst your salary is $250. But because you're paying in installments, you feel like you're saving. There's this disassociation with reality when you're buying things on credit, right? You think you're not spending money, but that's the whole consumerism cycle that we're in, because when you're buying on credit, you just feel like, oh, I'm saving, or I'm not spending most of my salary, but you actually are. It's the way you say it. Mostly because I was still reading and then I realized that nah, I he's trying to trick me. Convos with Zaina. Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for joining the live. Um yes, so Dineo says, it's really sad that we're still living hand to mouth, most of us. It's important to manage credit responsibly. Yes, Dineo, but I think that, like I mentioned before, we actually don't have this financial knowledge, and we are we are deprived of that knowledge, actually. And I think it's designed that way because we are supposed to, we're not supposed to, let me not say that. The higher ups want us to live this way, hand to mouth, and they want us to pay the taxes. They want us to empower and enrich them by working in their companies. But when you see what they teach their children how to open up businesses, how to invest in stock, how to invest in startups, for example. So we are deprived of this knowledge for a reason because they need us to continue with this issue of consumerism. That's why Samsung and Apple, every year, they're always competing on bringing in the new iPhone or the new Samsung. And when you buy a new phone, okay, maybe the camera is clearer, but is there anything more than you're getting from it? Because the storage is still going to be the same. And if you want to get more storage on an iPhone, you have to pay for storage. So every month you're still paying for things. Some applications you have to pay for them on a monthly. So I think that it 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 it's now time that we invest more in learning about how to accumulate wealth rather than getting rich or making more money. Because and another point that I'm going to bring about now is that the wealthy people know when to say this is enough, and that's why they keep continue accumulating wealth. But we were taught that you become rich so you can buy more things. So you're always going to be in this limbo of hand to mouth, no matter how much more money you're actually making. um okay. Yes, buy now, pay later. Yes, Dr. Amy. Alice said, I will rewatch this. I got disturbed. Okay, Alice. The convenience of Klarna's services can make it easier to buy what we want right away without paying upfront, but it also has the potential to lead to financial issues. Exactly. Exactly, Dr. Amy, what Dineo was saying. We need to learn to manage our credit because when we don't, we're always going to be living either in debt or hand to mouth. Okay, Dineo. Mutle said, oh, greetings to Zaina and Linda. We really are learning. I've made so many financial mistakes since I started working, and I'm only starting to learn now. Yes, Mutle, that's also part of my points. I will I will speak on that soon. True, Dineo. Oh, Dr. Amy is saying, Alice, I hope all is well. Please confirm, Alice, that it was just a disturbance of a phone call or something. True, Dre, we don't. We really learn as we go. We make mistakes financially and learn from that. Yes. Y'all are awesome. 11 watching, 11 likes. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the likes. Linda said, true, Muhle, it's an ongoing thing. We learn every day. Exactly. Danelle said, it's great. Yes. Read what we want, not what we need. I'm here. I'm just going to stop typing and enjoying. Okay, Dr. Amy, thank you. Lungi said, that's how we all learn, Muhle. True. The best solution for me is to have savings. Exactly, Lungi, which is the next point. Hello, Nape. Good morning, and thank you for joining the live. Please don't forget to like the live. Buy cash or lay by, no accounts, and settle debt. Yes, Lungi, exactly. I think that that's what we need to that's what we need to learn to do. An old version car and iPhone. Yes, Lungi. I used to chase this whole thing of the next iPhone, the next iPhone, the next, I stopped because I realized that I'm working for one thing, and it it didn't make sense. All is well, Dr. Amy. At work, something needed my attention. Okay, thank you, Alice, for confirming. I'm sorry. What are you sorry for exactly? I don't think you have anything to be sorry for, Nape. Okay, so now that you have saved the 10%, so remember we said we're living below our means, we are budgeting to only use 90% of our salary, and then the 10%, they advise that you learn about investments, and the most important thing is that you seek advice from competent people and people who you can see from their own experiences. So I would like to say at this point in juncture that I don't trust influencers when it comes to financial advice, especially about trade and stock, because they are getting a commission from speaking about these things. They are not experts on these things. But we do have people on social media who have grown from one level to another. Maybe not even on social media, maybe people that are on reputable platforms like TED Talk, for example. These are people that have been vetted. These are people that have shown throughout their life that they are trustworthy. So I just want to say at this point, when I say competent enough people, I don't mean people with a large following or people that sell some sort of advice. So I think a lot of us have fallen into that trap of seeing someone who has a good lifestyle on Facebook or on Instagram, and then they tell us how we can make more money. We also had these scams in Zimbabwe that were physical, whereby you would go to an office and they'll say, if you give me $500, you'll be making $50 a week, for example. That's not good financial advice. So those are not the people that I'm talking about. Lungi said, imagine investing based on influencers trend. No offense, but it sounds like a recipe for disaster. Yes, Lungi, but a lot of people fall for that because if, for example, I am not well versed in this influencer life or how they make their money, and I am just someone who has gone online and I'm seeing an advert for, oh, you should trade with this company or trade with this company. And the person who I'm looking at has 15,000 followers. I'm just thinking that this person can't have 15,000 followers and lie about actually using the platform or actually using the website. So a lot of people fall prey to this kind of thing because of numbers. So yeah, we have to be careful with that. Zaina said, true, Dre, influencers, that's where the danger is, because the numbers are there and it shows that you have some reputability or people should trust you. But unfortunately, if you're not in the game, you will get scammed or you will fall into a disaster, like Lumi said. So once you seek this advice, now we turn to investment. So 10% is what you save, and after you save it, it becomes an investment. So what the book says is that your investment makes children. So the children are profit, right? And you don't take out the profit. You put the profit back and your initial investment as well, and then they become children of the children, so they become grandchildren, right? And then these grandchildren, as they multiply, now produce an army of gold slaves. So basically, your money should work for you as you're working for your money. So this is the whole point of month in, month out, take 10% and invest it in something that can bring you something lucrative. So in Zimbabwe, a lot of people have moved back to agriculture and horticulture. And people invest in seedlings, for example, or they. Lungi, I'm trying to be serious on this. Lungi, you are you're skipping a part, and that's why the children are just remaining as children. They are supposed to become grandchildren, and then they become an army of gold slaves. So your money can work for you, but if you're eating your children, then you're skipping a part, Lungi. Please don't eat your children. Thank you. Yes, Louis, keep on investing back into whatever you're doing. So, I was saying in Zimbabwe, people invest in chickens or they invest in seedlings. So they start selling vegetables and then they put the money back in that. Eventually, they buy land or they buy more chickens, and then the chickens are producing eggs. Or whereas they started with 50 chicks, they can go to 100 chicks and so forth and so forth. So that is the concept of investing your savings, then they make children, then they make grandchildren. Then at the end of the day, you have an army of gold slaves. So your money is working for you. So I have two more points now, and I'm going to just race through them because I'm trying not to do an hour live so I can see how the hours are going. So, we've touched on this before, but it's called the consumer myth of more. And the more money you make, the more you want to buy. The more money you make, the more you want to upgrade your phone, your car, your house. But the wealthy people know that at the peak of your fulfillment is enough. That is realizing you have enough clothes, enough luxury, enough toys, and enough gadgets. So, something that Joey said in one of her shorts was she said that she's going to repeat her clothes because they are her clothes, right? But sometimes we feel like we need to continuously buy more things because now we're making more. But that also means we're living beyond our means, like we spoke about before. Dr. Amy said, the more money we make, the more responsibilities. That is the consumer mindset, Dr. Amy, and I agree with that. That we feel like, or we were taught that the more money we make, we have more responsibilities. But if you are living a certain way with the current salary that you have, and your goal is to build a house or to buy a house, after you buy your house, what more do you want to buy, or what other level of luxury do you want to get into? Because that's when you are continuously living beyond your means. So if you could live comfortably and survive with the salary that you have now, the more money you make, the more investment you make, and we don't consume the investment, or we don't consume the profit until we have an army of slaves working for us. Then from there, we can upgrade our lives. So we are skipping a lot of stages and steps in wealth because we want to spend our profit before we have enough investment to actually fuel our lives, and we still have money to save and reinvest. Okay, so yes. Annie's agreeing with Dr. Amy. Then Colonel said, I have enough. I simply don't need more to live happy. I'm happy for you because getting to this point of contentment is it's difficult for most of us, including myself. Being content is the goal, actually. Lungi said, when I was trying to be debt free, the first thing I did was give up on buying new clothes and phones. Yes, because at the end of the day, I don't think we really need them. And I think another thing also, maybe we will discuss it in another live, is quality over quantity, because that's another consumer thing or consumerism that leads into a cycle of continuously buying more. I'll note that down for another live. Dr. Amy said black tax increase. Yes, Dr. Amy, because once they see that you're making more, the problems increase. And Lungi had a discussion about this on her live. And I don't know what we need to do. We need to just stop buying coffee and posting it, because when we do, the black tax increases. And yes, we don't consume children. Yes. All right, so the last point is how to attain financial freedom. And this is more psychological than it is physical. So you start with the psychology, and then it moves on to the physical. So it's 2 steps. The first step is trying to find out how much you have made in your lifetime. So, if you've been working for 3 years, you know how much you've been making for a month for the 3 years. Calculate how much that is and write that down on one side of a sheet, right? Then the second thing is to create a balance sheet of your assets and your liabilities. So this is going to need a little bit more financial education of what is an asset and what is a liability. And I think depending on the state of affairs, a house would be an asset, unless there's a depression and house values are depreciating. But a house would be an asset. It would be more of an asset if you are renting it out, because it has the value of it standing on its own, and it also has a value of it bringing to you income. Then a liability is something like a car or a phone, because the moment you open the box of the phone, it has already reduced in value. The moment you drive your car out of the lot that you buy it in, it has already decreased in value. So that is big things that we can call assets and liabilities. But we also have other liabilities that we are always buying. So that is it. When we realize the amount of money that we have made throughout our careers, it's a lot. And when you add it up and you see the figure, you will understand that you've actually made a lot of money within your lifetime or your career. Then you look at that asset and liability balance sheet. It will rearrange something in your psyche that will make you realize that you need to work more on assets. Okay, Annie said, assets is what appreciates as time or years go by, but liabilities depreciate as time goes by. Exactly, exactly. So if something is adding to the value that you bought it at, then it is an asset. I get it that positivity is important here. We need to develop a positive financial mindset and habits. We read, learn, and unlearn. Exactly, Dr. Amy. We have a lot to learn and also a lot to unlearn, because this is something that we learned from our older sisters, our parents, maybe our grandparents, depending on whether or not they had this financial ability to actually learn about financial freedom. If they accomplish financial freedom, we can learn from that. But if they didn't, then we have a lot to unlearn, especially this consumerism in our society, this need for more in our society, and never being content. That is something that we really need to unlearn. We can't keep on keeping up with the Joneses, because the Joneses, they are living a great life behind the scenes because they don't show us what they are actually doing with their money. Lungi said habits as well. Okay, Lungi, I have a. Okay, so I have two topics for next week. The first one was. Did I forget the topic? This is why I write things down. Let me write the second topic before I forget it now. So second one was the second one is atomic habits. I also have a book review on that, but I would like for us to apply it to financial freedom. And I will watch back my live so I can remember what the other topic was. Because how could I forget? I don't believe I forgot. But anyway, guys, I am going to be ending the live. I don't know if I should just let it get to an hour or if I should end the live here, because we only have like 4 minutes left. But please, 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 don't forget to like the live before you leave. And if you have any contributions, please let me know before I end the live. And if not, let's say our goodbyes. Thank you so much for all your contributions. I really believe that as we are building this other source of income, which is YouTube, and okay, thank you, Lungi. As we are, okay, thank you, Alice. I will go to an hour. We are creating another source of income, which is social media and YouTube. And we are going to start making more money. But we have to be wise about how we spend it and how we invest it. So I just thought this would be a good topic to delve and dive into, more so to refresh my own memory, because I've read a lot of books on this, but sometimes I do not. Why are you kidding? You don't want me to get to an hour. Yes, I've read a lot of books on this. I apply it in the first 2-3 months and then I forget. So I think it's something that I would love as well, to be able to experience financial freedom so I can teach my children financial freedom so we can create generational wealth. Yes. So I don't know if anyone else has another contribution to that. Oh, yeah. Another thing is, read up. Let me see, Lungi, what you said. We don't consume children. Habits as well. Get to finish the last remaining minutes. Lungi, what did I miss? I feel like I read everything. I'm not sure. How do you create a poll while going live? Okay, so there is a plus button in the middle. You have I think you have 3 buttons or 3 prompts. On your left side, in the middle, and on your right side. So the plus button in the middle, if you just tap on it, it will tell you to create a poll. Thank you. We have 24 votes. So this means that 24 people have come in and out of the live, and I have 14 people now. So I'm hoping I'm going to get 350 hours from this live. I am hoping so. Hi to me. Good morning. How are you? I had said we will chow our YouTube earnings. Where did you say that, Louis? I didn't see it. I think you typed it and then you didn't post it because I didn't see it. You know what? You know what, Lungi? I feel like we need to actually enjoy our money, right? Especially something that we've worked hard for, so that we get it out of our system. And then after that, we start moving. But we can still do it 90% enjoyment, 10% savings and earnings. How am I doing with the hours? So last week, when I was checking my updates, I was getting between 5 to 15 hours a day. I was extremely happy. Then, for the past 2 days, I've been getting 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day. And I think it's because um, Dr. Amy, please. I'm trying to be serious. So, yes, for the past 2 days, I've been getting an hour and an hour. And I think that's because I did not go live for some time. So that's why I think my hours were getting lower. But I'll see how it goes from next week. Because right now I am working towards 1,500. I'm on 1,400 and something, maybe 403 or 404. So once I get to 1,500, I want to encourage myself to go live every day. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, but I'm gonna try. Dr. Amy, I will both invest it and buy coffee. Because one thing about me, I love being in a coffee shop. So 90% coffee, 10% investment. Yes, coffee, guys, coffee. Uh, that's a bit low. I'm catching up, Dre. You're doing well. Thank you very much, Dr. Amy. Thank you. Try Dre. It's worth it. I will. I will definitely try. Okay, guys. So we've gotten above the hour mark. Oh, thank you, Dr. Amy. Thank you so much. Yours does too. Everyone's content on in this community is amazing. Thank you, Lumi. I will keep on pushing. I want to give myself a goal by my birthday next year, which is April. I'm going to be fully monetized. So I want to see how I will calculate it between the days and see. And maybe I need to invest more in going live later so I can get those people, you know, the airlines to push my hours as well. Thank you, Dr. Amy. Amen. Amen. So, guys, thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for the contributions you have brought. I really appreciate you being here with me. And next week, I will delve into some more topics like this. Alice said the live streams are exhaustive, but if we don't do them, we only get 2 or 3 hours. Yes, Alice. I actually noticed that this week because yesterday, the day before yesterday, I got 1 hour, Alice. 1 hour. The day before I got 3 hours. I said, what is going on here? So definitely I'm going to keep on doing the lives. And since we can do shorter lives now, or we've decided to do shorter lives now, I think it's going to be manageable. Okay, Lungi, definitely we are going to be joining you at 1. I will only join you for 30 minutes though, because I have a meeting at 2:30, but I'll leave it playing in the background. Let me play your videos on my background. Thank you, Alice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tumi said we will be there. Dr. Amy said, Lungi, we will see you. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Please say bye so I don't feel bad for leaving the lives. Please say bye, 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 bye. 25 votes. This live is going to have 365 hours. I know it. I just know it. Dineo said, see you. I'll be going live at 2. Okay. All right. So we'll do 1 and 2. Dineo, I will join you 30 minutes late because it's an hour meeting. Bye, Dre. Thank you. Goodbye, Dr. Amy. Goodbye, Linda, Lungi. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. So I'll be in your live for the full live then, Lungi. Alice, 1 hour. Amen. Goodbye to me. Wisani, hi, I'm leaving now. I'll see you in my other life. But how are you this beautiful, gorgeous morning? Goodbye, Danilo. Goodbye, Zaina. Thank you guys so much for joining. Are you leaving? Yes, I am. I am. I've been here for like an hour. But I'll definitely be here next week on Monday. So I'll see you on Monday and I'll also see you in other people's lives. Bye, guys. I love you. Stay blessed.